Allow your heart to give you some direction. If you feel that our voices, our messages, our breath practices speak to your heart, bring you into a greater state of coherence, select that option when your heart expands wide at the thought of it. I apologize for the time change. I do post in the groups that you need to check your time zones, but the clocks are starting to change around the world and they change at different rates. And just so you know, Hawaii doesn't change at all. So it's always an interesting thing how everybody else moves around. Hawaii and Arizona, the two states I've lived in the United States, do not change the clocks. So it's not a rhythm for me. And if you missed the time this morning, please don't worry. This will be recorded. So the recording will be out there. But I do apologize for not trying to put a little more announcement out there about time changes. It's been a busy time for me, which is great. I was in San Diego last weekend doing the advanced follow-up retreat with Dr. Joe Dispenza. For those of you who were there, it was amazing. I had a wonderful time, just very transformational. And I leave tomorrow, day after tomorrow. Let's see what day is it? No, I leave tomorrow for Sedona. So, for those of you who live in the Sedona area or just love going to Sedona, there is a retreat event there that I'll be participating in. I have a booth. So, you're welcome to come by and join me. It's channels and healers and vendors and all kinds of cool stuff going on. And this is called the Ascension Retreat. It's been there a long time. Suzanne Ross puts this one on, and Daryl Anka will be there if you're a fan of Daryl Anka. So come on over and check it out. As far as the next thing, I'll be at the week-long retreat in Denver, Colorado with Dr. Joe Dispenza again. And that is April 4th through the 10th. So for those of you who are going to be there, reach out to me so I can get you into the chat space for that group specifically. That's where I put notifications where I'm going to be, and we can all get together and have coffee or just hang out and maybe do some channeling. So that's usually on the list for me at these events. So check that out. And the last two events I'm doing in May, the first is the first weekend of May at the Mind, Body, Spirit Expo here in Honolulu, Hawaii. And then the following weekend after that, I will be in Escondido, California, near San Diego, doing the channel panel. Now, if you want to talk about channeling palooza, that is your place to go. If channeling's your thing, you want to learn more about it, I'd highly recommend that retreat. It's very cool. Daryl Anka and all the big names are going to be there that I know of. I know there's one really famous guy who's not going to be there. Lee Harris is not on the list, but a lot of the other channels. Wendy Kennedy will be there. Sarah Breskman Cosme, I think her name is. I can't remember the middle name, but she'll be there, and lots of other really cool channels, and I'll be there. So you can come and hang out with me if you're in the area. Okay, the other thing is Bali. Bali is happening, and there are only 10 spaces, and four of them are already taken. So if you are interested in the Bali retreat, it's only just, this is what I'm calling the soft launch. I haven't even started the email campaign yet. So it's word of mouth, and I'm offering it to all of you first. So if you're interested in going to Bali, please let me know. I put the link for scheduling a consultation in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and copy it and put it back down at the bottom. And please schedule a consultation if you're interested. There is a charge for the consultation for obvious reasons, but it is fully refundable if you decide that it's not a good fit. But I do recommend that. I already have 3 consultations this week alone for the last few spots. It's quite an adventure. It's an all-inclusive experience once you arrive. Of course, your flight is not included. It's in September from the 13th to the 19th. It's 7 full days of amazingness. So come on and join me over there. When you have a chance, book a consultation. Like I said, please do it soon because those spaces will fill up likely before the end of April, if not before the end of March. So check that out. Last thing, we do have an Ohana retreat for those of you with children. It's here in Hawaii. You have to have a child come to that in order to attend. Your inner child doesn't count as a child. I've been asked that question, and I love the query, but it's for the little ones. So if you're interested in the Ohana retreat, again, that one's very low cost, and you can make a vacation out of it with your family. So children need to come with a parent. It's not summer camp. It's not a drop-off situation. It's designed so that parents can support their children in growing into the amazing dimensional beings that they already are. So that's a really exciting time. And that's the 1st through the 8th of August here in Hawaii. You're going to get to see that place right there. So I highly recommend it. My volunteers are now monitoring the chat. So if you have put questions in there, they will answer. I did see one thing, and that is I do require everyone to have a name, a screen name. So anything that says iPhone, initials, punctuation, please go in and change your name. This is a space that is supposed to be safe for everybody, and sometimes single letters or punctuation or other things do make other people feel uncomfortable. They want to know that they're in a group with wonderful people, and we all have great experiences around that. So it is one of my requirements. If you do feel uncomfortable putting a name in your space, my volunteers will remove you. Unfortunately, that's would be a shame, but you can watch the recording. So let's keep this a safe space for everybody. Of course, you do not have to turn on your cameras. That is not required. As a matter of fact, I'll go ahead and just disable cameras altogether. Um, and I will not permit you to unmute yourself until the time comes at the end of the session. So yeah, please, please, please put a name on there. I think that's always best. Maybe your middle name would be what you prefer. So it just creates a nice safe space for everybody. In addition, if you know anyone who is in another time zone and they maybe have missed the session because the clocks changed here, I understand the clocks are changing in Europe at another time, but I don't know when that is. Maybe just shoot them a text right now and let them know that we are on and we are recording and we're channeling. I have made it so the space is open for anyone to drop in at any time. That's why I don't allow people to unmute just in case they come in with their sound going. I don't want it to be disruptive to the group. And also too with the cameras, I like to make sure that all the cameras are off. For some reason, my Zoom has changed. I can't see the gallery view, so I just have the list of everybody. Um, let's see. Just want to make sure everybody is muted. Okay. All right. Been some great questions. Last weekend, in a follow-up to the session just before that, where there were some beings who arrived from Antarctica. Just want to let you know that I know who they are now. Did a channeling session this past weekend to discover that group. Just so you know, there is a very big group of beings way down south. And when I went in and visited with them, um, they had great messages about the future of our communication with dimensional beings and the concept of disclosure. So if that's something that interests you and you want to know more about it, you can always book a direct session or put a question about that in the chat space and we'll come back around to it when the time comes. As you know, a membership is coming. Just be patient with all of that. It's being built out, and there have been a few tech issues getting that up and running. So the good news is it's still free for all of you. But when the membership program does launch here in the very near future, just keep an eye out for it. Make sure I have your email so you get the email. I'll notify everyone in Telegram. And it's only $11 a month. So it's not a lot of money, but if you need financial assistance, certainly reach out to me. So that's the last announcement, and let's get started. All right, go ahead and close your eyes. Wonderful. All right. And as usual, let's just tap into your inner perspective of yourself, looking at any areas of inconsistency that you may have in your body. So this means maybe tension in your muscles, noticing how you carry yourself. Perhaps you have a perpetual need to squeeze your eyebrows together. And if that's the case, relax that space in between. And starting from the top of the head down, if you've not already done so, checking in with the scalp, all those tiny muscles that give your face expression, check out that area of the body. And with every in-breath, breathe in space. Space to the areas of tension, including your thoughts. And with every exhale, breathe out love and connection for yourself and for those around you. Allow the eyeballs to rest in the orbital sockets. Sometimes we tense up our eyes. And the neck and shoulders. For anyone who has a cell phone or has ever worked on a computer, this one's for you. Relaxing the neck and shoulders. And down the arms to the fingertips. And sometimes in the scan, you may notice things you didn't notice before, like the openings in the fingertips that are like little eyes. They allow you to see things with your fingers. Maybe today you see that. And exploring the torso, including all of the internal organs, and that beautiful and artistic spine, how it's flexible, versatile. Your spine carries everything else in the body so beautifully and houses the powerful communication frequencies transmitted through the nervous system. Checking in with the pelvis and down the legs. Some of you tend to squeeze your toes. Allow your breath to create space there. You are safe. You are loved. You are cherished. You are magnificent. And you all are doing so beautifully. Continue the in-breath with the out-breath. In-breath to create more space. How beautifully you all are expanding. And with the exhale, sharing your love and connection with one another and with all of humanity. The natural state of being is to connect, is to share information. And the more you relax in your human body, the more this communication and connection happens. And so understand the flow of the body, the human body, is out the top of the head. It circles around below the feet and rises back up the spine once again. This natural flow of your energy system is how the energy centers and the entire energy body produce information to share with others. But it is not only 7 and 1 that are participating in the lovely flow of human energy, it's also the energy centers 6, 5, 4, 3, and 2. With your eyes closed, check in with each of your energy centers. Check in with the flow of energy out the top of your head with your exhales, circling around to an inhale. That energy flow is the natural flow of the human body. While that is happening, there also are the energy centers 2 through 6 that circle front to back. The energy releases from the front of the energy center. For example, from the heart. Your energy flow, the natural flow of the body, like the circulatory system of the heart and the lungs, where your cardiovascular system creates what? A cleansing process in the body. So too does your energy system have its own circulation. It leaves the front of the energy centers, 2 through 6, circles around the arms like the rings of Saturn, and in through the back of the body. And it's this wonderful continuous flow for you. Now, with your eyes closed, checking in with your own energy system, checking in with your own energy centers. Begin to observe and notice areas of inconsistency in the energy flow. Maybe you find that one or more energy centers have challenges with release or with receiving in the back. The energy centers open wide on both sides. For those of you who thought that the energy center only emerged from the front, today's a special day for you. You get to explore what the energy centers feel like on your back. Opening and closing in a clockwise or counterclockwise way. Circling around from front to back. From 7 to 1. From 1 to 7. Notice how the energy from 1 as it rises up to 7 collects the energies of 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 on its way out to 8. How beautifully your energy centers cleanse themselves, cleanse the energies of the body. Many of you ask us questions about healing the body spontaneously. This is a good start for you to simply recognize that your energy flow and system has a pattern and frequency, is something that assists your body with its natural form of cleansing. Spontaneous healing does occur in the human body. As of currently, it is somewhat in the lower percentage than the rest of the ways the body heals, little by little. So understanding the energy body and the flow of the energy centers is the next step for you in your healing process. All illness, disease, lack of harmony in the human body is the result of a decrease or stopping the energy flow in the body. Once the energy flow stops or decreases, what happens is the patterns and frequencies of habit, generally stemming from some type of fear related to trauma in the body, get stuck. And these patterns create eddies of energy that eventually become knots in the muscles, tension in the body, illness in the organs. There is nothing wrong with any of you. You simply have information pathways that are no longer flowing correctly. To clear up the confusion for at least one of you, thinking this thought right now, there is nothing you have done wrong. The patterns and frequencies of tension in the body, preventing the flow, the natural flow of the cleansing of the energy system, which is intrinsically tied to your 3D experience within your body, only require love to release, relaxation to release. And you cannot bypass this by saying to yourself, my energy is flowing fine, yet I'm still sick. This doesn't make sense to me. If that is the thought in your head, it's an acceptable one, of course. But just know that if there is tension or disease or illness or lack of harmony, lack of abundance, lack of connection, you are overlooking something in your body scan. If you believe your energy is flowing fine, yet you still have symptoms, then perhaps look a little deeper. There is more for you to explore and discover within your own system about the release of energy. And for those of you panicking and saying, I'm doing enough, or I try so hard and nothing happens to me, it never gets better. Or for those of you panicking about your condition, understand that that is the exact opposite of what you desire. Panic is related to fear. Fear is related to trauma. Trauma is a perfect sign that it is time for more release of the tension in the body. Keep it simple for yourselves. Avoid allowing the mind to hijack the experience of your wellness. And so you understand the energy system, or at least your brain has been told a little bit about it. You will get there if you don't quite understand yet. Be patient with yourself. And now we will begin the heart breath. Focus your attention on the 8th energy center, the orb above your head. Breathe in through 6 and 5 to 4. Allow the heart to expand wide. Now release the energy with the exhale from front around to the back, into the spine and up to 8. Nicely done. In through 6 and 5 to 4. Release front to back and up to 8. In through 6 and 5 to 4. Release front to back and up to 8. A little change in through 6 and 5 to 6, 5, and 4 at the same time. Release front to back and up to 8. In through 6 and 5 to 6, 5, and 4. Release front to back and up to 8. In through 6 and 5 to 6, 5, 4, 3, and 2 at the same time. Release front to back and up to 8. In through 6 and 5 to 6, 5, 4, 3, and 2 at the same time. Expand the centers wide. Release front to back and up to 8. The same again. In through 6 and 5 to 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release front to back and up to 8. And continue this same breath in through 6 and 5, to 6 down to 2. Noticing tension in the body, releasing front to back and up to 8. This is where you let it go, in through 6 and 5, illuminating, expanding all the energy centers. Release front to back and up to 8. Nicely done. 2 more times. Same breath, in through 6 and 5. And release front to back and up to 8. And 1 more time, in through 6 and 5. Release front to back and up to 8. And breathe in from 8 to 0 in a spiral. Release 0 to 8. In from 8 to 1 in a spiral. Release 1 to 8. In from 8 to 3. Continue the spiral. Release the spiral, the exhale, from 2 to 8. In from 8 to 3 in a spiral. Release the spiral back up to 8. In from 8 to 4 in a spiral. Release 4 to 8 in a spiral. Breathe in 8 to 5 in a spiral. Release 5 to 8. Breathe in 8 to 6 in a spiral. Release 6 to 8. Breathe in 8 to 7 in a spiral. Release 7 to 8. Breathe in 8 to 0 in a spiral. Release 0 to 8. Breathe in 8 to 0 in a spiral. Release 0 to 9. Breathe in 9 to 0. Release 0 to 9. Breathe in 9 to 0. Release 0 to 9. Breathe in 9 to 1. Release 1 to 9. Breathe in 9 to 1. And release 1 to 8. And last time in 8 to 1 in a spiral. And release 1 to 8 in a spiral. And resume your natural breathing, checking in with your body. Notice the beautiful space you have created. And when you are ready, we will begin with your first question.
The first question comes from Deepa. Is receiving your transmissions through these calls and recordings as powerful as doing my own meditation work? Or is one not a substitute for the other?
This is an excellent question. The recording version or recorded version of any session is the exact same as being there live. However, some human brains have the limitation that there is a difference. So if you are finding you are one of those individuals where the recorded session feels somehow different than the live session, simply close your eyes during the recording. Allow yourself to remember what it is like to be live in the space and the sensation of loss or lack or fear of not being in the live space will generally fall away. Some of you, however, have very tricky and very skillful minds, and you will continue to tell yourself the story that the recorded version is slightly different. That is entirely your belief system. And if you continue to have that belief system, simply show up live. We will be here. The sessions themselves are equally as potent as any meditation that you have in your repertoire. The important thing for each of you to understand is follow your heart in the moment. If you feel connected to a question and answer session or a breath practice session that we have participated in with you, either live or in a recording, if it is what your heart feels you should do in the moment, choose that. If your heart believes and feels that a specific type of meditation is better suited to the moment, your heart expands more with the meditative practice. Do that. There are no rules to the experiences of what is right and wrong. You do not have to set limitations for yourselves about the number of hours you need to have experiences of this work or of meditation or of anything else. Allow your heart to give you some direction. If you feel that our voices, our messages, our breath practices speak to your heart, bring you into a greater state of coherence, select that option when your heart expands wide at the thought of it. The same is true for any practice that you do. Do the thing that in the moment brings you love and connection in your heart, and allow yourself to shake it up a little bit. Meaning, so many of you love to create habits and patterns around the things that you do. A habit and a pattern creates tension in the body. Perhaps that type of tension is what you require. Or perhaps you can go into the unknown and to allow yourself to decide in the moment what it is you need to do for yourself to create more love and connection within your heart, more release of the tension within your body, more experiences of the unknown. So choose whatever your heart feels is the right thing in the moment. But yes, these practices are equally as potent as other practices that are out there in your world. Feel free to use them at will, liberally, at any time. If your heart feels connected, it is right for you. So choose from that space. And we are always here to assist. Remember, we do not live in your time. We do not live in any one particular timeline. So the recording or the live version is irrelevant to us. We show up when your heart connects into the messages, the breath practices we believe assist you in achieving greater coherence. So time, recording, live, space, whatever you choose to use as words to describe it, we show up when you show up. There is no such thing as time for us in that sort of way. The next question, please.
The next question comes from Ursula. Dear healers, my mother had an unusual experience of green balls of light flying into her living room, making sparking noises, hovered briefly in her room, and then left. It happened a year or two ago. What could this have been? Why did it happen?
These are the gray beings. They are very playful and like to express themselves in this type of way. Know that there is nothing amiss. They are simply her starseed origin beings, and they're around to communicate with her. It sounds as if your mother has a playful heart, and this is a type of playful exchange the Greys are having with her. So she can choose to interpret it as much as she likes, to give it meaning, or she could simply relax into knowing that the Greys are speaking with her. And if she would like to make contact with them, she need only ask. For some of you, understanding or tapping into your starseed origin information may require you to employ the senses in the 3D world. There may be other representations in your media that describe the Greys, that describe the Pleiadians, the Arcturians, the Andromedans, the blue beings, the insectoids, the reptiloids, and so on and so forth. For some of you, you need only to activate the imagination. Remember, each human will have a different perceptual experience of the beings who are all around you. Allow it to be okay if their perception is different than yours. There is nothing amiss here. It is simply that the human 3D body, in its abilities to perceive, have lots of other information adding in. All of your memories from this lifetime and the others, all of the different timelines you experience, and of course, the incredibly beautiful limitations of the human eyes, ears, and other sense organs. Allow yourselves to see the beings before you in the way they present for you. And when you talk about it, share your own vision. Allow your own imagination, as you call it. We find this an entertaining term because for you, imagination seems to be something separate from the perceptual experiences you're having. Perhaps you could integrate that and allow your imagination to be something that is perfectly real for you. So your mother sees the gray beings and she recognizes that they are a playful sort. And now it is time for her, if she chooses to do so, to reach out and have communication with them. What an extraordinary experience for her. Not many humans begin their communications with the dimensional beings through eyesight. So there is something special about your mother's brain. And if you share her DNA, there will also be something special about your perceptual abilities and your brain. Explore that a little bit more. That sounds like a wonderful adventure. The next question, please.
The next question is from Alika. Hello, healers. While doing a meditation focused on abundance, I got the impression that a dark being was in the room with me. I tried to react with love, but I still felt a weird feeling of not being alone, which did not feel good and calming. I am wondering if you can provide guidance on how to handle these situations.
Yes, we have some wisdom to share with you based on your own knowledge and the information from human history. Ailika, this spirit that you are talking about is someone who was human at one time, who has not been able to pass on to or make the transition to the next lifetime. It is part of your home, perhaps not even part of your lineage. The place where you live is nearby a resting place for your dead, and there are sometimes in the human world beings who have left one physical body who have not quite transitioned to the next experience. And so, this dark energy, as you have described it, is simply an observer. And the darkness that they present to you is a very unfortunate collection of their trauma, habits, patterns, and experiences. But there too, this being has taken on information of darkness from others around it, from the homes and the land itself. So, in a way, it is doing a service to the space around you. Yet you understand how it feels to be in a house that is very cluttered, in a space that is very dirty and in disarray, to be in an environment where the land feels like it has been done a terrible disservice. And that sensation in your body is your energy field attempting to press out what you call darkness. Do not be afraid. This energy that you are talking about, Alika, has no wish to harm you. It is simply caught in between the worlds. So for you, there is the question then of what to do next. What humans consider dark energies have different meanings. Think of it like this. There is the darkness of night, which is frightening for some, yet expansive for others. Perception matters. There are dark energies, as described by humans, that feel just yucky. That is the sort you are dealing with. There are dark energies that feel like they may produce harm. Some of you sense that. Again, it is your perception. Otherwise, everyone would feel the same thing. So, beginning to question your perceptual abilities when confronted with what you perceive to be a dark energy outside of you is a good start. Where does the tension for that experience reside in your body, in your energy field? Some of you say you're too afraid to even explore it. How do you intend to release it if you're unwilling to even explore where the information pattern and frequency is within your body, your energy field. It is by bypassing or avoiding what you perceive to be dark energies that they persist. Beings who have passed in the 3D world, who find themselves trapped between the spaces, have the opportunity, if practitioners who are still alive and in the human form would like to assist them in the pass over to the next realm, you could certainly hire someone to do that type of work. However, the vibrational pattern and frequency within you that resonates with the dead person hanging around your house, that's for you to explore. These are not bad things. They are uncomfortable things. You wouldn't say that walking into a hoarder's home that they are bad people. Those who create homes with so much clutter, it's nearly impossible for you to walk into it. You would take pity on them. You would say, this person suffers from some sort of mental illness, some sort of trauma that requires them to accumulate stuff to create a false sense of safety. The same is true of the disembodied humans who are attempting to transition. They're stuck. To allow yourself a moment of compassion in your own heart for wherever that vibrational pattern or frequency resides within you is the way to release it. Being afraid to acknowledge that it's there is perhaps the only thing keeping it around. When it comes to dark or malevolent energies, which do exist around your planet, understand that this is the same thing, in a way. Dark and malevolent energies in the 3D form produce a result within you. What happens when you come across malevolent humans, dark humans, uncomfortable people, people who are so far into their trauma that hatred has become their way of being, that fear and aggression have become their way of being? It is easy to try to walk away from these energies, humans who are full of hate. And in most instances, you should walk away physically from those energies, from those people who produce ill will that comes from their complete lack of love and connection. You are not here to fix others. You are here to understand why the experiences you perceive create feelings and sensations in your body. That is your only responsibility. Because when you create more love and connection within you, you are a more loving and connected human. So dark energies can be removed from your external spaces. But what to do with the information within you is entirely yours to decide. It is possible that you could still be in your home, Ailika, Be in your home experiencing the disembodied person hovering around who feels a little sticky and icky. Because you will be feeling more love and connection within you, with the release of the fear around that experience, likely that being will find another place to reside without you ever having to do anything more. When it comes to malevolent energies, engagement is not recommended. Instead, focusing within on producing the vortex of energy of love and connection within you through the spiral breath, through the heart breath, produces a natural state of separation from malevolent dark energies. Dark energies, as you describe them, and of course, it is far more complex than this simple answer we are giving you. Dark energies have no interest in love and connection. So when you produce love and connection within you, those energies will find a different way of experiencing the human realm with another person, perhaps, in another place. Or perhaps they will return to their own origins to sort out what in that energy makes them appear malevolent. We are ready for the next question, please.
The next question is from Wendy. Dear Blue Healers, in these sessions, you have previously said that you heal us completely every time. But during the March 3rd session, you told a woman that you were unable to spontaneously heal her eye condition. How might these two statements both be true without conflicting?
Aha! We have found where rhetoric becomes more important than the message itself. How clever is your mind to try to find ways to disconnect rather than to connect in the heart. As we have described so many times, speaking words is not the most efficient way to receive our communications. Your human minds wish so much to create conflict within you out of the habits and patterns developed over the course of tens of thousands of lifetimes, of millions of years of survival. So, Wendy, your question is being met with an answer. Would you rather focus on what you perceive to be an inconsistency and allow the inconsistency within you to shine brighter than love and connection? Or would you rather allow yourself to perceive the communication, the vibrational pattern and frequency, as it is designed to create more love and expansion within your heart and in your body? Our answers for one individual will be words that produce a vibrational pattern and frequency for that individual. So yes, we can produce wholly healed states in pattern and frequency that we can emit to you or release to you through a breath practice. It is within your body that there is perhaps resistance. to the vibrational pattern and frequency of complete wellness. And it is okay that we send out a signal and that your body is ready to receive, or it is ready for the next stage of your own inward illumination. So perhaps the woman with the eye condition could not be healed on the spot, simply because there are other vibrational patterns and frequencies, like obstructions in a river, that need to be removed before the pattern and frequency of total wellness is the only one that resides within her eyes, within her body. And so, in that session, we offered an opportunity for the woman to figure out within her what it is that is preventing her from being in a total state of love and connection. So, Wendy, we would ask the same of you. What inside you chooses to perceive rhetoric in conflict rather than love and connection for you in all answers to all questions? So we believe that this is a wonderful question for anyone to ask. And Wendy, you are not the only one who asks this question. We can hear your thoughts, and so many would like to know the same thing. And this is interesting because we are perceiving this more and more within the humans who are in this and other spaces. Where are you choosing to focus your attention? It has been said that what you watch and what you think is what you will have as experiences in your body, in your environment, in your waking state, and in your sleeping state. So if you choose to watch violence, if you choose to talk negatively, you yourself are producing violence and negativity within you simply by engaging in the experience with your eyes, with your heart, with your vocal capacity. So now you are presented with an opportunity. Begin to examine where your focus is in every moment. Begin to examine what your words are saying, what your focus is through your words. Even the simple act of considering the possibility that what you perceive inside yourself is an adventure, is a great exploration, is a journey into deeper love within your heart. Take a moment to listen to your own words. Each of you. How do you speak to yourself and others? If someone presents to you in a state of negativity, they are complaining about work or their spouse, or their bodies or their conditions. Listen with love. Listen with the heart of knowing. Listen with the heart of wisdom. And every word you say in response, Allow it to be one of joy, one of connection, one of possibility, because your words are powerful. If your friend is constantly complaining about her husband, perhaps it is time for you to say, "What a grand adventure the two of you have been on together. So many changes over the course of time. Did you know that when I first met you, this is how you were together? I still remember the love you shared. It's still in your heart, and I know that. Your discomfort in the relationship now is merely you saying that you are ready for your heart to expand more in love and connection with your husband." So you see, you could dive into the conversation and complain with her to righteously agree that he is wrong. But is that really what your heart wishes to feel in that moment? Instead, a diversion tactic for your friend that comes from the love and connection in your heart of the memory of their love will produce expansion for all of you. Which feels better in your body? The complaining, the experience of watching trauma and pain and suffering and violence on your television or device? Or does it feel better to produce feelings of love and connection? These choices are entirely yours. But if you want freedom from the tension in your body, the fear that you will never be well, the fear that you will never have love, the fear that you will forever have poverty mentality, if you want freedom from the experiences of tension in your body, in your environment, these simple steps are a great beginning for you. Tell yourself your own epic love story. Allow that to be the overriding conversation in every experience you have, both with others and within your own heart. So yes, we produce vibrational patterns and frequencies of total wellness. Yet some of your bodies still have information within it that require you to produce expansion, love, and connection, to free up the debris from your own river of energy flow, so that when the pattern and frequency of wellness emits from us, from your meditation, that you are a receiver that is free from distraction, from pain and suffering and fear. Allow yourself to become the receiver who has one channel, and that is love. Keep working with it. It is not about perfection. It is about expansion and connection to your own heart. If you are in this space, if you are listening to this recording, love is your language. You're on the right track. Just keep expanding in your heart in every moment. Know that it is truly home for each of you. And we will take the next question.
We are 5 minutes past the 1 hour mark. Would you like to proceed with the next question?
Yes, we will take one additional question.
This question comes from Hagit. Dear Blue Healers, I meditate consistently, but most of the time I struggle to connect deeply and I rarely access the fifth dimension. I try to focus on the breath to turn off my mind, but it is only mildly effective. If I am not connecting, how useful is my meditation practice in elevating my vibration? What else can I do?
We thank you, Hagit, for sharing your heart, for sharing your challenges, because all humans experience challenges at one time or another. So your heart is saying to itself, I am still wanting more love. I am still wanting more joy. I am still wanting you to come back home to me. Your heart is saying these things through what you describe as a lack of connection to 5D. However, from our perception, this is simply not true. You are connected to 5D, and your meditations are valuable. Your breath practices are working. It is simply that the overriding thought in your mind that produces a tremendous amount of fear and tension in your body is that you are doing it wrong. Let us assure you, there is no wrong way to do this. You are doing it right. Simply laugh a little when you feel the challenges come on. Smile inwardly and say to yourself, wow, that voice in my head is still overriding the conversation of love. I wonder why. Query the voice in your head that tells you that you lack value, that you lack ability, that you lack being connected. None of that is true. It is simply a perceptual state based on trauma from your past. For those of you still beating yourselves up over having trauma from the past, for those of you still accusing your family, accusing your ex-husbands, your ex-wives, your old friends, whatever it is, for those of you still looking to the past, still talking about, with alacrity, all of that trauma and all of the terrible things that others have done to you, it is you talking to yourself. If you had a child before you, a child you feel great love for, and that child says, I'm so stupid. I should never have done that. Of course, as the wise adult, your heart opens wide. Your heart opens wide and greets their anger, their frustration, their sadness with only love. And that is because you know that they are little, that they are learning, that they will fall down, they will get up, they will make choices that are painful. And you can only watch the child go through the experience and offer them love. That is what a true parent does. A loving parent loves its child, its offspring, when the child feels suffering. Why is it then that you are feeling suffering? You are feeling challenges, that you produce anger toward yourself, that you produce hate toward yourself. You are a child in your own heart. Love that child within you with grace, with ferocity. Allow the fierce lion heart of love to come forth when you are beating yourself up relentlessly, retelling that story of hate and hurt, of struggle, of defeat. When you are repeating that story of hate and hurt in an attempt to somehow change the details of the past, you know you're on to something within your heart. When you hear yourself say that story of anger and frustration about you, which is the same as you expressing hate and hurt about others, remember the hologram of your world is all about you. There is nothing outside yourself. It is simply your heart saying, take a look at this horrific movie one more time and ask yourself, do you wish to continue watching it? Or could you just power it down and never look at it again? Love needs to win in every scenario in your life, whether it is a friend talking about their discomfort, or whether it is you expressing your own hate and hurt toward yourselves. Bring forth curiosity, humor, laugh at yourself for again complaining about that thing to everyone who will listen, even the bank teller, even the checker at the grocery, anyone who will listen to your horror story of hate and hurt, of trauma. Laugh at yourself when you recognize it. Laugh in good humor and love and say, it's okay, honey. You fell down again into the hole of complaining. I'm going to pick you up, meaning you pick up yourself. You brush yourself off. And you say to yourself, only love lives here. That man who did that terrible thing to you only lives in you now if you continue to tell the story. Everything in the past ceases to exist when love fills up the space, so nothing else has room to be there. Of course you know all of this, and of course you're beating yourself up for knowing all of it and still doing it again. But we are here to tell you, we love you. We believe that you are simply one breath away from living in total love and connection. This does not mean the challenges won't come your way. It just means that when in a state of love and connection within your own heart, when you've expanded to where that is all that exists, challenges will just be experiences you have, fleeting moments on a timeline that is of insignificance anyway. So enjoy the experience of being in 3D, of being human, of loving and hating, and loving again. And remember, once it is all gone, you will feel only compassion for everyone around you in their suffering as they ascend to greater loving connection as well. You then become the beacon of love. You then become what others wish to experience. Because in every human's heart of hearts, love and connection is all you truly desire. The session is complete for today. We want to thank you for bringing your beautiful hearts to this space. We are grateful to you for all you are, all the challenges that you present us with, and we hope that in this space, you are reminded again and again of your own beautiful heart. And so we will see you in the next session. We thank you for your time, and we now will recede from the space. All right. Thank you all for being here today. Such a magnificent space. Thank you for the incredible questions. I'm always delighted by the answers. I'm going to send you off with lots of love, and we'll see you again next week. And just want to say how grateful I am for my time with you. It's always a pleasure. If you're interested in any of the other offerings, reach out to me directly and make it a great day today.